Hello and welcome to the cold and windy morning on the second day of the New Zealand Mixed Ultimate Div 2 Championships at Napunawai Christchurch, Otatahi. We have HMC versus Ethos. I'm your commentator Tom Fraser, and with me is Chris Barker, and we will be with you on this journey. On this morning's, here we've got HMC ABC. We have Luke Raab, Zach Medic, Adam Chung, Ahash Sivasith, Martine Barnes, Scott Sider, Andrew Hislop, Becky Farr, Tom Warden, Harrison Leach, Lydia Smith, Leilani Smith, Anna Cairns, Abby Cameron, Caitlin Titheridge, Grace Van der Velden, Luan Mance, and Grace Taylor, with coaches Ryan Sheridan and Paige Hansen.
HMC, fantastic quarterfinal earlier today against Hamilton Fusion. Looking at the Ethos team, we have Sam Powell, Rebecca Beattie, Jessie Chase, Richard Fernando, Nikki Alley, Georgia Fogarty, Riley Bruce, Arno Cartier, Anne-Marie Leglaire, Josh Cooper, Aini Lu, Adir Mararang, sorry if I pronounce these incorrectly, Connor Vanderply, Riley Hamlin, Aini Lu, Caleb McLeod, Josie Morrison, Ty Lawson, and Max Utteridge. Coach Richard Fernando. Yeah, going back to it, HMC, fantastic win, Tom, over Hamilton Fusion in what was a very tight game. Ethos, admittedly underdogs here in their quarterfinal, but managing to scrape through with a quarterfinal win as well, putting them here into this fourth playoff.
Yeah, as you can see, we've got a shot here of the blustery gales in the trees here. It has been a tough morning for Frisbee. Been a strong southerly coming across the field, again from right to left as you look at the field. You'll see that most games this morning have been decided by 1, if not 0, upwind breaks, with HMC having a tough loss on the toss, basically. No one was managed to get it past the up to or score into the wind. So it's been a very tough morning and challenging for these throwers.
It certainly has been. And look, it's been a windy weekend, really. But I think the teams, like yesterday afternoon, they started to turn the corner and kind of understand how they can use that wind the best. And hopefully what we see out of this game is some of those tactics, some of those wee aspects just come through and just allow for those upwind scores.
Yes, they've had many days where many games now to practice and work on their upwind, downwind style of play, and I think there we have the first example of it. Great shot from Tom Warden there. Zach Medic unable to hold on. We will see much of that territory style throw, looking for the end zone with the wind.
And I really like that option from Tom. You know, it's about, like, it's cold out there. The team needs to get going. Let's see some big plays. Let's get a good emotional response and get moving. Unfortunate turnover there from Ethos, giving a really good position now for HMC.
I'm excited to see the Ethos offense work it. I understand they popped it all the way up the field in the last game. Oh, nice catch there by Medic. Not uncalled. Medic moves it to Mance. Mance, a competent handler, swings it to Warden. HMC
looking here just to use that high side, the small high side that there is, to the best that they can, just holding it up here.
Warden
looking to work it toward the goal.
Swin Smith with it all right. Assist to Lee in the corner there.
Really strong opening there from HMC. I really like that point. But that's a downwind. What are they going to bring on the upwind, Tom?
Well, I think as you mentioned there with the low side, high side style of play, with the wind going right to left, it also is a lot more difficult to have the disc on the far side of the field with the wind pushing any throws out. So I think you'll see HMC, if they have the turn to go up into the wind, they'll be looking to bring the disc to the side closest to the camera, stay along there and in the middle, and then they'll look to open it up. Although that seems a bit illogical, throwing big into the wind, it's very, very tough to throw little throws 100 little throws in this wind as well. So it's a little bit of probability, a little bit of statistics there, tossing that up into the wind.
Both teams just getting their brief before this point starts here. Looks like it's going to be Luke with the pull.
Luke has had a phenomenal weekend throwing into the wind. Of all the throwers I've seen walking around, he's one of the few to get consistently nice sitting throws into this gusty wind. That'll be a key watch out for this game. Pull by Rabi.
Rich Fernando to pick up here.
Has been bricked. It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
That's extremely bold. Looks like HMC starting with a nice wee arrowhead here.
Rabi to Barnes. Barnes back to Rabi.
An unfortunate error there from Luke. Let's see what HMC stick with that zone.
I believe he'd want to put a bit more spin on those throws. A nice pop by Katia there. Fernando not quite in the end zone. And a nice dishy to Aini Lu with the score.
I think a player that we're going to see a lot of this game. Watching Ethos yesterday, she had a fantastic game against Taranaki Thunder and was really all over the field doing exactly what they needed to do. So that for HMC is definitely a player that they're going to need to shut down.
I have a feeling we'll also see a lot of Fernando this game. One of the strong throwers in this Ethos line. Fernando has been doing a great job as coach of this Ethos team. Originally picked as a development side, and with a surprising twist has ended up in the third, fourth playoff ahead of the Credo top side. Though I think wind conditions could be said influence that factor. I think Fernando's throwing and strong throwing has really helped get them there.
For anyone watching live, if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments and we'll see if we can get round to answering any. Tom Warden with the disc. Really strong mark here.
Mansk with the bailout. Very tight match from Ethos. I've seen a lot of teams use zones, so it's good to see match coming out here.
Definitely it is.
Or junk, actually maybe more of a junky look. They're forced to turn.
The first opportunity for Ethos to try work that into the wind.
Smith with a strong mark on Fernando. Lou with the disc.
I'm not sure, Tom, whether I would beat great D there from HMC. You know, really tight to Ethos to play that small game against, you know, some of those zones like that. I think I would like to see them swing the disc more and kind of open up that field in order to get into position where they can have a really good go at trying to score one of those upwind passes.
There we see the wind getting under Warden's throw to the end zone. Yeah, there's a great D there by Ahash before. And I think you're right, HMC would be pretty happy with little 1 meter passes going along the way. Again, as saying, these zones, these defenses are set up that they want to attract little throws and quick turnovers that way, really trying to stop the big aggressive shots that can eat up the meters up the field. HMC with a junk look. Smith on the mark, and a bit of a miscommunication there, and a great pressure from HMC. Let's see if the HMC offense can tap it in.
First question just come through on the live stream, just asking when the finals are about to start. That'll be 2:30 p.m. local time today.
Nice shot there, Warden to Mance to score that one. The weather conditions have really changed how a lot of teams have played the game of Frisbee. I think a lot of them probably trained in more fair weather and had different tactics coming into the weekend. HMC have been using upwind, downwind lines almost religiously for the last few games, making sure they have their strong into the wind throwers all on the line, and then that downwind really the bigger throw and some very nice catching done by some of those receivers to score, because although throwing with the wind is easy, the disc goes very, very fast and hard at you, so it takes a lot to take that catch.
Obviously tough conditions out there. What I really like from HMC at the moment is just the amount of positivity that they have. You know, most games today have gone to time, and that can be a real battle, but some of this early positivity, hopefully HMC can carry that through all the game, because that'll put them in a really great position to just absolutely try and score one of those desperate upwind points.
It really is a desperate upwind point. You'll notice a large celebration for anyone that manages to score in the right-hand end zone. As you can see, Ethos there, trying to stay warm on the line.
Rain just starting to kind of come through here at the moment, so that's just going to add just another layer of difficulty here. But let's see how far Luke can get this pull up the field.
It has really, the wind really gusted up there for that pull, and so I think that was quite a noble effort there.
I think that's very wise, going with that roller. Really, really clever. The question is, can HMC put on really strong defense here and get a short turnover? Can they force them to throw it backwards and achieve a short turnover?
There it is.
And here we go. This is a really good opportunity now for HMC to try work that disc and get into a favourable position.
Ethos looking to zone on turn. Hislop with the hand block there. Rabe with the disc. Chung to Rabe. Oh, lovely low release there to Farr. Becky Farr, strong thrower.
Luke throwing some really strong, great pass from Becky there as well.
Oh, there seems to be a slip of the feet there.
Turn.
Max with the disc. Finds Riley Bruce. That's a long shot. Does not quite stay in there. It was a strong effort from the Ethos receiver. Oh, that could prove costly. There's some great play from HMC into the wind.
I really like this from HMC. They're just leaving those players, those reset players, those swing players alone. They're asking, hey, how about you throw to those players? And what they're trying to do there, I think, is just get a wee drop or a throwaway at that position, just so they just don't have to work that whole field upwind on offense, something that's really difficult to do.
So that term we use, the short field turnover. What the defense is trying to do is make sure they have the least distance they need to travel into this wind. Right now, 64 meters as the shot from Luke goes up. Lovely D by Jesse Chase on the sideline. And a huge catch there by Looks to be the coach Ryan Sheridan from HMC. His highlight play of the tournament for sure. Chase with the disc to Utteridge. Oh, there is a violation. Travel called. And play resumes quickly. Nice chase. Juicy chase with the disc back to Utteridge. HMC.
Really strong mark here from Andy. Oh, fantastic defense there from Scott, I believe, on the sideline. Fantastic. Really just trying to make sure that they don't have to play as far into the wind.
It's
as they have to.
15 metres there, just getting his hand on the disc.
Great shot.
Huge shot, Rabe. Hislop with the disc. Takes his time. Shouts on the sideline for him to send it. Oh, there we go. Hislop with the return. You are allowed to catch your own throw if someone else touches it. Oh.
Once again, great swing there by Luke. That's going to be really critical in this match.
Utteridge with the swing. Great toe of the line there by 95. Oh.
Unfortunate there. I really like that shot. That is a fantastic pass there. That's working with the wind. The disc holds nice and consistent. I think Ethos be wise to kind of put a player into that pocket, marked or not, because I think it's a really readable throw.
And Utteridge has proved he can throw it. Utteridge just is still at school, I think, Shirley Boys, so one of the young products of the new Canterbury Juniors Ultimate scene. As well as number 95, Josh Cooper, who was on the line making that catch before. Riley Bruce with the throw, but blocked in the lane by Adam Chung, getting up there and risking his cold hands. Rabe again, letting it rip in the wind. This one was read by Bruce. Bruce to Utteridge in the middle. Eyes for the end zone. Leilani Smith, though, covering that area very well.
I really like this from HMC. They're trying different things. They're getting in good field position. They just need to tighten up on some of that defense and create that opportunity.
Good pressure there on defense again, with Bruce not quite being able to hold on to that pop pass, trying to jump it in. Rabe pushing that one quickly, probably not his favourite throw.
Not the best, but it's worth giving that a go. In conditions like this, as difficult as they are, it's worthwhile giving that shot a go.
Trying to beat the defense before they're set.
Absolutely. HMC still sticking with their zone here.
Cooper with a great grab in the corner there, very excited. Nice work, Ethos. That's 2-all. Ethos now coming out to try and get that unicorn of an upwind point. Great grab by Josh Cooper, and I think Jesse Chase was quite happy to find him behind him.
Absolutely. I think that team is they're welcoming the opportunity to sub off here, get some fresh legs on the field.
Chuck a jacket on, or 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think Ethos, I think they're putting out a really strong line by the looks of it. I really like this approach.
Fernando coaching mid-game. Always a difficult task to lead, run and play Frisbee, but we have many people in our community to do it. Fernando does it well.
Quick shout out to those watching the live stream at 23 Porritt Ave. I hope it's nice and warm there. It's not here. But I hope you are enjoying the game.
Fernando with the pull. He's discussing something or tactically waiting for the gust to die down. The inconsistency of the wind has definitely been a feature of the games this morning as well, with 1 or 2 upwinds scored when the wind had died slightly down. Tom Warden from HMC to pick up with Arno Cardier on the mark.
It's like Ethos sticking with this match defense. I really like that. Sometimes in these downwinds, trying to make a throw pinpoint is really difficult.
Grace Fenveld not able to hold on to that bobbled disc. Yeah, a lot of teams do tend to go to zone, but match can be equally as effective when the wind is involved. HMC sticking with their junky defense on turn. The middle of the defense, the rock of the defense, Harrison Leach. Shout out to Tracy Leach watching at home as well. I think they'll be a proud mother there.
Very tight in and around that throwing area. There's a lot of defenders there. There's a lot of offensive players. Making those short passes very, very difficult. Be very wise, if possible, for Ethos to swing out of this position and look to attack from there.
Yeah, it seems like Ethos may be trying to use the tactics they employed in the last game against a different type of defense. Popping is not something you want to be doing around this junky defense. What we mean by junky is there's probably 3 types of defense in Frisbee you can use. You can use a match defense where you mark up against players. You can use a zone defense, which is used in other sports like basketball and that, where you're marking the spaces. Junk is a little bit of a combination. It's where players are in space, but they're marking the player within that space, so they stay tight and they keep switching. That's why it looks very chaotic and clustery. Fernando finds it to Cartier. Gets a nice shot around. It's a big play there to 29. Back to Arno. Great fake. Fernando checks feet. He is unsure of the lines there, I believe, on the field.
Not a lot of options being presented here for Rich. Just trying to order his players around the field, get them in a favourable position.
Harley's backhand I wouldn't have thought would work. I think the wind must have died down. They're playing very tight play there. HMC doing well to stifle, but Fernando's found a gap through to the...
Ethos making good progress here up the field, just taking their time. That's what they want to be. Take the time, be patient.
That is the 3rd shot through the wall to the exact same player finding that space. If HMC don't adjust, this could be the first and important upwind of the game.
It's certainly the closest that any team's been so far. What makes it difficult here is HMC just allowing a small, easy backhand pass, and that takes away the pressure. That takes away any of that downfield defensive pressure. So they're just able to reset that count and then look for another gap.
Smith now starting to put a bit more pressure on the backhand. Here's the movement.
Ethos getting very close now. There we see. Seems to be an adjustment now. They're starting to talk about taking away that dump, and now we see that pressure really come on.
Ethos showing great patience here, moving it around. Using all 10 seconds of the stall count to marshal his troops. Fernando Tula.
Really giving it a good shot here, Ethos. They put that strong line on just for this scenario. And now we see that adjustment there, putting a little bit more pressure on that backwards pass.
Fernando again. Oh, he's gone for the hammer. It's been dropped.
Wow. Wow.
Tom Warden sends it back. It's a huge shot by Tom. Oh. Big bid by both players, yeah. Fernando now. See if he can do it again. His face says, oh no.
His face does say, oh no. But going back to it, this is the positivity that I mentioned earlier. Ethos should be very positive about what happened just there. That they were able to pretty much work that disc all the way up the field and get into a good position. Perhaps the hammer wasn't the best option. I was advocating for them yesterday. Maybe not quite today. But if they can do it once, they can do it again, surely.
Definitely the lessons you want to be taking from that. Oh, great grab by Powick there. Tom Warden in with a sniff, but can't quite get there in time. Luam looking to assassinate Fernando. This could be a very good adjustment. Oh, got it through.
Tom Warden doing what he has to get that turnover.
Nice shot to Luam once. Luam, a top disc golfer in the Christchurch region. Be lovely to see some of his throws come out today. Oh, that throw is at the wind. Fernando's got the Mac. Harsh with a lovely read. Catchadies, a cried from the sideline.
Big shot to the zone. Wow. Great catch from Luam Mance.
Positive way for HMC to finish that point, but hopefully Ethos can hold their heads up high after that solid effort marching up the field. This game may be decided on just one of those marches coming off.
Absolutely. Nando looking exhausted already. Quick shout out to Brennan Colson watching in and Nicholas Whitlock.
Brennan, possibly one of the better players in New Zealand Ultimate. Good to have him on the screen.
HMC here, they seem to be answering that. They're sticking with that line that worked earlier. I think they'd have to back themselves. They should back themselves to be able to score upwind here.
Almost as if HMC's upwind line should take positive from Ethos's attempt going up the field, showing how far it can be done. Raba with the pull.
Definitely. I think we might see a little bit of this come into it. With HMC sticking with their same lines here.
Is that going to hit us? No.
Ethos, they put a lot of they put a lot of strong players on that last upwind point, okay, and that's going to hurt them with the potential players that they can put on this next downwind. So there's possibilities if HMC defend really hard here that they can get that turn and work it up against, not to be disrespectful, but potentially a weaker line later in this game.
Definitely. The more you have to work through your experienced players, the more tired they'll get. This is where the deeper rosters at the business end of the tournament are important. Great read by Utteridge. And a little pop to Cooper. The youthful inexperience making us eat our words a little bit there. Very good read of the D, and a nice pop to finish. Some good play, and Josh is on the scoreboard again. Looks like Fernando's back on the line. But they have switched out Josh Cooper coming on for Sam Pollock of that last Upwind line. Oh no, sorry, Sam Pollock's also on. It's just a four male, 3 female line.
Strong line once again from Ethos. Hopefully they can get a really strong pull, good field position, achieve that turnover on a short field, and then show some of that great offense that they did on their previous Upwind.
HMC will want to be a little bit more consistent, not giving Ethos that disc, making sure they score this point, not giving them a chance to work it up the field. Warden picking up the disc, looking long for Titheridge in the end zone. That disc just didn't quite catch up. Fernando now to bring the disc back in and start what may be another long march up the field.
Looks like to be potentially a little bit of a different a defensive change here from HMC, looking a little bit more junk than their previous zone look.
Looks like the adjustment is the same defense, but Luan Mans has taken a assassin approach to Fernando, so every time Fernando gets the disc, he's going to have to work for it.
Absolutely. He may want to consider as well just putting a straight up mark on when Rich gets the disc, as Rich has done a fantastic job of making some great yards throwing forehand directly down that field.
Huge hammer fake. Cartier with the disc now. That is a very nice throw from Cartier up into the wind, but Warden was equal to it. It's a promising throw. Warden sending it deep, not quite able to hold on, no. Fernando with the disc. Looking for Cartier, but Michelle Lee is in there stopping that throw, getting through.
Yeah, fantastic heads up defense there.
Tom Warner will be wanting to make sure of this one. Nice little break, but Medic cannot hold on. Sorry, is that Furs? Furs cannot hold on.
Okay, cutting to 2 on 2. Cutting 1 on 1.
Timeout by Fernando.
Oof. The players looking a little tired. Conditions slightly more favourable than they were before. The wind has dropped down just a little bit. Tom, I'm not sure about that timeout there. I thought Ethos had HMC on the run there a little bit.
It is an interesting one, the timeout after a long throw, because on the one hand, yes, you may want to settle your offense, but your defense is scrambling just as equally, and it's whether or not you want to give up that advantage. And with the disc in Fernando's hand, I'd like to see it continue to go.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that this could have been some really strong attacking options there. But what do you think we're going to see from HMC here? Are they going to stick with that junk defense, or considering where the disc is and how important those upwinds are we going to see a switch to match defense?
I would probably say they would stick with their defense, mainly because they are matching Fernando, who is the biggest threat right now. The junk is allowing their heads up deep Tom Warden to cover a lot of ground, and just they want to stick with what they've been doing for the last couple of games. It is right though, that wind has died a lot down. Upwinds are seeming very, very more achievable, and I think Cartier's forehand up the line was a beautiful shot and proof to that the disc can now go a little bit further, and we'll see if that offense or defense, who adjusts to that first.
Absolutely, absolutely. This game is definitely going to be one of adjustments, and as we're, like you say, there are throws that can make considerable gains up into that wind, and hopefully teams adjust their downfield to suit that, and have the other team worried about their shots, have them changing their defense around to kind of create more space and create more opportunities.
Shot of the rain on the Port Hills there in Christchurch. Contrary to what this tournament might have you believe, I can attest that there has not been much rain over the last 6 months. It's all decided to come in the last week, which is great for the farmers and those on, say, motorways that would like the grass to grow. But as far as being out playing an outdoor sport, it does make for tricky conditions. Ethos there, coming out of that huddle, all smiles. There's a bit of confidence in that.
Absolutely, looking positive. Then they need that positivity, especially in an instant like this.
Ethos setting up some sort of side stack by the looks of things. They're creating... Offense normally sits out of a timeout, and all their players have gone over to stack on the far side of the field, giving space for the throwers to throw into.
Almost looking
Pearl-like.
Shaped here. Very interesting with those two offensive players on either side, deep in the sideline.
Anne-Marie Legrill in the Pearl position. She's a very fast new player, also from the school's age, in the Canterbury Youth Division, picking up the game very quickly.
Have to favour that, maybe that forehand. Will we see a return of that hammer to that far side end zone there?
He has put the at least 2 goal scorer Josh Cooper over there in that spot, so we know he's got the hands for it. Cartier looking for Nando. Luan Mance getting a hand in there and doing the job for the HMC. Huge defense there.
Yeah, really important. HMC really coming out of that timeout with a sense of importance to shut that down.
Don't expect the disc to be lasting down this end long. However, Warden has thrown the huck out of the field, and it has not come back in. So it looks like great mark by Josh Cooper has forced a turn. Ethos with another chance at a short field, bringing the disc in about 20 metres from the end zone. Warden won't be happy with that one.
No, he won't, and that's unfortunate. And like I was mentioning before, if you look at Ethos, they tend to favour that, from that position anyway, that forehand that kind of rolls around to the other side of the field. Really consistent and able to achieve really good position.
Fernando eating some snacks there, getting some energy going. Expect a big throw. And he's got it. Josh Cooper has held on to that. Huge Ethos with the first upwind of the game.
Very big. Not a big window for Rich to throw into, and a little bit of a juggle there, but that player, realising how important that point is, doing his best to hold on to that and scoring that very vital upwind point.
He scored at least 3 of the 4 points for the Ethos side. I'd almost hazard half an assist there to Cartier, who his moving and dodging of Nato's throw was equally as part of the success of that throw.
Absolutely. Lucky to not be hit in the head there almost. But great work, Ethos. And this is it. Sometimes in conditions like this, you've just got to take your chances.
Yeah.
You've just got to take your chances.
I think in the game before the Equilibrium ABC, not one disc made it into the end zone for a chance, so no one had the opportunity to even score the upwind. Yeah, a couple of teams got close, but they didn't get the disc in the end zone for the chance to score. And at the end of the day, that's where it needs to be if you want to score a point. I do think that might not be the only upwind we see this game, as the wind is still in a lull. Perhaps the storm has blown over.
Absolutely. And if anything's really going to set HMC on fire, it will be seeing that. It will be seeing Ethos score upwind, knowing how vital it is, knowing that it can be done. I'm sure that they are going to come out here on this point and absolutely give it their best.
Utteridge with the pull. Bloody outside him with a nice roll. Picked up by Rabe. To far, back to Rabe. Rabe with the pass to far. HMC looking like they're going to move it a little bit more here.
Ethos changing a little bit, going into zone. They've been match pretty much all this game. I think entirely this game they've been playing with match. So now we're seeing a wee change here, and this could give HMC the chance that they need to find that upwind point.
Oh, a huge throw here. Can Hislop bring it down? Not quite. Utteridge makes sure of it. Moves it to Chase. Chase now holding the disc. High count. He's looking big. He's put the air under and he's found his receiver in the corner, Sam Powick. Sam Powick decides he'll try the same tactic. Can't find a receiver on the end of that throw though.
Great play there by Ethos, realising how important it was that they scored that upwind point. Not wanting to make a short field turnover. Knowing they want to throw it deep, but not throwing it away. Looking for that player, still looking for that player and looking to create that opportunity. Looking to get that downwind point.
Making sure you hit the player takes away the opportunity for HMC to have another go at scoring the upwind. HMC now in a chase game, trying to get this upwind. Good movement here. Rabe. To Far. Far looking for a swing, but the zone is forcing it back to Rabe.
Patience needed here from HMC. There are wee pockets here and spaces that they can use. They just need to find it.
Awkward pop, but Far brings it down. I think the swing is a little bit wide there for Far, though. The second continuation pass is not getting there, so Ethos happy to keep them contained on the sideline. Lovely little lefty backhand. Hislop coming into the middle from downfield and immediately breaking the zone. There we go. Oh, great defensive chance there. Anne-Marie Legurl came in very quickly. Looks like she's had a collision with Powick though, and there is a call on the field.
I'm not too sure, Tom, if this was a foul or an injury call. I think it may be two players from the same team
colliding. Yeah, it looks like Anne-Marie had a very close to getting that turn. Flew into Sam Powick, who was trying to make up ground there. They're trying to work out if it is a call or not. But now there is a stoppage. So I'm sure the players will suss out what is going on there. Disc back in play. Rabe. Throw just a little bit wide of Far. She couldn't quite pull it in. Nice effort with the layout though. Hislop now, big Big mark on Utteridge, who sends it to Raba, who knocks it down and giving everyone on the sideline a little bit of hope of some Mac glory.
Utteridge has been doing a great job of taking that disc and throwing downwind. They've been really clean, really consistent.
And they've been threatening.
Absolutely,
Threatening.
they have, Tom. Threatening, definitely.
Lucky I fucking bought them, otherwise I would have had
HMC now working their way out of the corner. Anne-Marie Legrau coming in there. Oh, geez. Uncontested foul, calling on herself there. No, she might have been a little bit late on that bid, but great to see the tenacity.
Injury call here for Scott.
Scott Sider takes a hit from Anne-Marie Legrau. Fair enough that he needs to take a little bit on the sideline. Looks like Adam Chung will be subbing on for him. I love the energy Anne-Marie is bringing in that position. Oh, it looks like Scott may have taken a knock to the nose. Hopefully he's all right. Foul with the disc. Finds Chung on the inside. Ooh, Chung lasers it, but well picked up by Leach there. Unfortunately, the throw doesn't continue through to Rubber.
Why haven't we seen Adam on these upwind points before, Tom? You know HMC well. Is he slightly injured or?
He is slightly injured. He actually unfortunately took a knock at Wednesday Competitive League last week, and so he's got a shoulder injury and he's paying on a little bit of painkillers and a lot of strapping, if you will. So he's been taking it easy this tournament, which is a bit of a shame because he's a weapon of a player. Amazing skill, and there we see it. He's an absolute weapon of a player. Layout block.
I don't see a shoulder injury here, Tom. I'm not sure.
Adrenaline does wonderful things.
Sure does.
Another little pop that's just not quite working, and that's those little throws that.
Yeah, I think a timeout here maybe for HMC would be wise. Just to regather themselves. Look, they've certainly got that. There's that fantastic throw.
Rubber saw that one coming though, and he gets in front of Connor. Ethos rush back to the zone. Rubber centres to Chungy with a lovely shot. Far now with the disc. Just inside of Leach. There, and Jesse swats it away. Utteridge with the disc. Looking for the reset. Most likely looking for the end zone now. There looks to be a point. A point is signalled. Powick scoring there with a nice shot from Utteridge through, thus completing the break. It's always good to score that up one, but you really must score the next point to make sure of it on the scoreboard.
Absolutely.
Ethos with a healthy 5-3 lead over HMC.
Big smiles on the faces of Ethos at the moment. They're in a really good position. Probably looking to be pretty keen to try and get another one of those upwinds and really try and put this game away.
They've had a taste of the upwind success, I think, and they'll be wanting to find that again.
Absolutely.
Looks like they're Rochambeau into who gets to play, and Josh Cooper wins that. So Riley Bruce, you'll have to take one. He wants another. Josh wants to get another stat.
Absolutely. A lot of excitement with this Ethos team now.
You love to see it. Tough wins. Terrible day to be outside. Big smiles on the faces. Loving playing the game.
I'm sure they were potentially maybe a little shocked to find themselves in this position playing for third and fourth, but they are absolutely going for it in this match.
Drinking up every minute. Fernando with the pull. It's a great rip, and you can see now his pull is making it up to the opposition brick mark. Straight away, that's an extra 40 metres on the pulls at the start of the game.
Absolutely.
Good signifier of how the wind is going. Warden not happy with the shape of the disc, thinking it's a bit bent out, so they're going to trade it out. No excuse if he throws a turnover now. Goose, I
Absolutely,
believe.
no excuse at all. HMC looking at going with a horizontal stack here.
Warden finds a harsh. Harsh looks big. Might have been one of his first times throwing with the wind at his back there today, because that had a lot of power behind it.
A lot of power.
OB.
Rich looking like he may have had another muesli bar during that long point, full of energy.
Sprightly running after the disc. He sniffs a win. He sniffs an upwind. He wants it. Luan with the mark, the challenge of trying to keep him out of the game. Ah, no. Marked by Lydia. Lydia Smith proving to be a bit of a terror amongst all the handler marks there. Putting in great work for this HMC D line. Cardia now off the line to Fernando. Adam Chung with another layup block. I think HMC might have been saving his legs. It could be highly level strategy right now.
We need to ask him what were those painkillers he was taking. I'm not sure it was painkillers. That man's got a lot of pep.
Warden bringing the disc in. Centers it. That's good. Not throwing it out of the field to start with. Harsh back to Luamo, who's probably not concentrated on that throw enough.
Opportunity here. Short field turnover.
Fernando and locked in his battle with Luam. Cartier locked in his battle with Lydia Smith. Lydia proving to be a strong mark there. Great work by Luam.
Count must be high. Ethos just happy just taking these meters at a time. That's really good.
Surprising little shot there. Way to squeeze that through to Fernando. That is a huge play. Fernando with the crossfield to Josh Cooper.
Ethos looking
for another upwind.
Looking aggressive, looking strong. Upwind here could...
Oh, the foot block there by Luan Mance. But there is a call on the play.
Would love to see a replay on that.
Would love to see a replay. Oh, here we go. So Fernando rushing to get the disc. Luan sticking with him. Oh, that's mighty close.
I think potentially Nano hadn't quite released that disc from his hand before hitting that leg.
It was definitely on the lines of the grey area and why the sport of 14 referees rather than one comes into play. Both Luam now and Fernando discussing their points of view.
Definitely.
I'd say this will end up as a contested call though, because I don't think either would want to move on.
So too.
Either would want to move on that. The reenactments are one of my more enjoyable things to watch in the game of Frisbee in a spirit call.
Aren't they?
The hand signals for contested foul there. Timeout by Fernando. That's the second one of the half, if I'm right.
Yeah. Now, if I recall, the timeout last time, it didn't work. HMC were they were able to focus, they were able to gather, and able to get the turn of the timeout. I'm not sure if that timeout's a great option in that position.
Looks like on the saddle. Oh, there's the weather coming in. As you can see, it's more rain over on the hills. We'll be really hoping it doesn't make its way here for the rest of this game and the final to follow. We've got the teams in the huddle on the field, but what we can see off camera is we've got the captains having a little discussion as well. So there might be some messages to go between teams.
See, typically a game at half-time, both Spirit captains would speak to each other about how the game's going. But of course, these games going for such a long time, they don't have that opportunity to have those discussions.
Oh, here we have the crowd getting rowdy out there. That is the Dunedin team, and Equilibrium, a lot of happy faces there. They'll be playing in the final next. In a lot of situations, they may be warming up or hydrating, eating. Right now, it's just stay out of the weather, stay out of the elements. But just back on that point, it is, normally they do talk at halftime. The captains, you want captains discussing to work out calls and decisions. But not many of the games in the last 3 rounds have made it to halftime, which doesn't allow for adjustments to be made mid-game. It's a good introduction that some of the captains were brought in, helping improve the game and making sure that even if the game starts off rough or there are rough moments, the teams can get on the same page and have an enjoyable game at the highest competition.
Must be pretty tactical. This timeout's gone for a very long time. I hope both teams have really sorted out what they're going to do here.
I believe the captain's discussion may have made it a little bit longer. At other tournaments, there are, for those new to watching Frisbee, there are timekeepers that would make sure these timeouts were run to the 2 minutes allotted from when it was called, or 75, and also the pulls in between points. Right now, though, it's up to the players to keep the game moving along.
Ethos running looks to be in isolation at the front of their vertical stack here. HMC sitting up in a zone. This is a really strong move here by HMC.
Fernando looking to move it straight away. Cardi and Lydia Smith continue their battle while Luam and Fernando match theirs. Lou with the disc, and it's just popped up. Very nice effort to try and grab that one, but unfortunately not held.
And once again, that timeout just not working.
Just
not working.
It may have settled their offense, but it definitely settled HMC's defense. Fernando sending to the end zone. This is exciting. Huge grab by Josh Cooper. Oh, wait, there's a call on the play. Tom Warden unhappy with the level of contact as he went to grab that.
Be able to see this again on the replay. Discussions continuing.
Fernando picking up the disc. Very excited to put that up. Lovely floating disc. Again, giving an opportunity to score.
I think that's clean.
It looked pretty clean for me. I'm unsure where the contact was. Again, though,
maybe Tom feeling that he had the space underneath the disc and the player going over the top and reaching over, maybe contacting his arm there. I'm unsure.
Also happens in these calls sometimes is the bump is just before the play, so we might be focusing on the jump, but the bump could have happened before the play. It's one of those things where those players were closer to what was going on. Us making our call from the nice little cabin here, looking across the field.
Yeah. And it's been waved off. Point stands.
Retracted call. Huge grab by Josh Cooper.
And great spirit there from HMC. HMC understanding how vital those upwind points are and able to have that discussion and in a spirited manner retracted that call. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Ethos taking a really strong position now in this match.
And sometimes it is good to make that call when you're unsure. Obviously, Tom Warner was feeling he was unsure about how clean that bid was, and just taking that moment to replay it allowed him to see the point of view of the Ethos player. Josh Cooper is scoring all the points here. That's at least his 4th. Turns out that Rochambeau for Josh Cooper to stay on the line there, proving very important. Although
Extremely vital.
I'm sure if we interviewed Riley Bruce right now, he'd say he would have made that grab too.
A lot of smiling faces on that Ethos line still. A lot of positivity there. Time's running out for HMC here a little bit. They really need a strong line here. They really need to score upwind here in this point to get back into this match.
They'd be very facing an uphill battle if they allowed Ethos to convert this break to get this downwind point on defense. So really want to make sure of it. The wind is gusting up slightly to what it was before, so we'll see if that plays into it again. Utteridge with the pull here. It's always exciting to have on strong upwind downwind games to get the chance to pull downwind, 1 or 2 a game. Utteridge uses it well.
He's had a fantastic throwing game here. Really just knows how to use their wind to the full advantage. HMC still content to work it around though. I like this. They're still going for it. They know what they can do.
Oh, Barnes not making sure of that throw. That's tough. The forehandler's back seemed to be a smart idea. They'd moved it forward 15 metres. But they just, again, Amigos passes. Utteridge putting an amazing inside-out flick through. Connor said not amazing enough. Here's the replay. Breaking the very large mark of Andrew Hislop. That is a gorgeous throw. Unfortunately, the receiver not able to hold on. Great throw there by Rover. Finds Hislop. Hislop now holds the disc long enough for Ethos zone to set. So HMC starts swinging it again. Oh, great hold by Becky Farr after Jesse got a touch on that. Ethos hunting. HMC looking to work it round. Great pickup of a low throw by Leilani Smith there. She pops it to Rover. High count coming. Farr provides the bailout option. Barnes then swings it very well to Sider, who finds Hislop. Calls of go. Hislop working up the field, not able to hit Cairns. So Utteridge to pick it up.
Utteridge, there's a guy who needs to be marked straight away because he can definitely just sling it just like that. Great goal there from Ethos.
He won't. Connor there bringing that throw in. Lovely shot by Utteridge. And Connor blasting past Rubber in the deep. He'll be unhappy with that read to make sure of the second attempt to score the point there. I think Utteridge might be able to forgive him now. Ethos, the energy, you can feel it from here.
You can. Seems to be a timeout called.
Is now the time that I admit my bias as HMC coach, wanting to jump out there on the field and help out with the timeout talk.
Go for it, Tom. Go give the encouragement that they need right now.
No, I trust in the coaches. Ryan Sheridan and Paige have been doing a fantastic job this weekend. I'm sure they'll deal with it well. I'm a man running training plans. Getting people throwing and being the bad guy. I'm talking to his man. Oh, there's further spirit chat there on the sideline there between Harrison Leach and Jesse Chase. Nice handshake there, making sure good to see the communication between the two teams carrying on throughout this game.
Ryan Sheridan now, giving the troops a lot of advice. Looks to be asking them just to lift. What I'd really like to see after watching HMC yesterday is how well they were able to isolate Andy in the downfield here. And he was coming up with some really big plays. Both him and Anakin's huge plays, and we haven't quite seen that so far in this match.
No.
I think this is something that HMC could look to both ways, both downwind and upwind, getting those two players, really strong players, and getting them more involved in the game.
You want to get the disc going through their hands. They will make the grabs for you, so you're right. We would like to see those shots going up. I think a big part of this talk from the coaches should be focus on energy, not to worry. I think right now they noticed the volume of Ethos was starting to drown them out, really. And HMC are a hype side, so more energy, the chant coming through. There's a bit of volume in that chant. Sounds like they've still got a bit of voice left in them. Hopefully it makes for a good fight for the rest of this game.
Absolutely. I think HMC are one big play away from really getting a huge emotional lift there, and then trying to look to use that to score those upwinds and be back in this game. They're not out. They can get back in this game. There's just enough time left here to secure a win.
It would not be the first time this weekend that teams have come back from this kind of margin, even in these upwind downward games. That has probably been one of the most exciting things about this Div 2 tournament, is that any team can string it through together and score. Fernando opting for the short shorts option. I don't know if you should comment on that or not.
It's not a day I'd want to be wearing short shorts there, Tom.
No,
at all.
Being from the rugby background, that was my old winter sport item of choice, but the longer shorts of Ultimate definitely had their attractions. And on a day like today, I think I would be in full pants and hoodie get up. It is cold.
Strong pull there.
Again, making
Not
it
quite
up.
making to the brick.
Here we go, more of Chung with the disc now. Moves it to Warden. Warden finds Mance. Mance shapes the throw big, but doesn't get there, and Bruce puts on a solid mark. Nice reset play there by HMC. Chungy getting the disc. Oh, Bruce with a sniff, very close to that one. Warden looking big, and he's unleashed it to a wide open Chungy.
That man's not injured. Heard it here first. He's not injured. He's not playing to stay warm. That's his thing.
I would have to say his legs are not injured. That is for certain. Oh, nice score there by Grace Taylor in the corner. Warden to dish it off there.
And that's a great time out there from HMC. That's been one of the quickest downwind scores that we've seen in a very long time there. Looking really strong.
I'm unsure, but was that in 0 turns too? A completely clean offense.
It was. It was. What we need to see, I think, more of our superstar Adam on
Adam
the field.
Chung. When in doubt, more Chungy.
Yeah.
It would be actually very good to see Chungy on an upwind point. The way he's managing to create separation with his speed, and he also has lovely, nice, low-release throws. So it does seem odd that he's not on this line. Currently, the line is full of power throwers, if you will. I think Chungy might provide that link that they'd need to spin a few of those passes together.
I agree, Tom. He just provides just that something additional that maybe the team's just been lacking so far.
They've managed to, these handlers have done really well. They've swung it around, they've managed to get it through, but they can't find that continuation. I think that's where Chungy would step up, because as soon as he starts sprinting, no one can stand near him. The body language of HMC is a little bit cold. It'd be good to see them hype up a little bit more there. The wind starts gusting back again. Now,
That's just been unfortunate luck for Luke.
Luke's pull not making brick, Richard's making the far brick. Is that to do with the ability of the thrower, or would you say the wind gusting?
The wind gusting,
That-
definitely. It's so unfortunate. It seems every time he goes to throw the pull, up gusts the wind. And a great shot there from Utteridge.
To Josh Cooper, again in the end zone. That is brutal, but I believe Ethos, Rich Fernando is organising the tournament. Maybe he has timed those wins.
Maybe he has.
It's seeming a little bit too well scripted right now. Or maybe I'm just a better coach of the other team.
No, there's certainly been a certain amount of luck, I guess, for Ethos here. You know, a few times when they've been working into the wind has died down, allowing them to kind of move the disc just a little bit more ease than what HMC have had.
So that's Ethos taking half 8-4 against ABC here at the New Zealand Mixed Ultimate Champs Div 2 2020, Day 2 in the cold windy Christchurch Otatai. We'll be back with the second half very soon.
Welcome back to the second half of the third-fourth playoff here. Div 2 mixed nets. Ethos here have a strong lead at the start of the second half. Talking to them, they said they spoke about positivity in their halftime chat. Stay positive. Hold on to that lead. Great intercept. Great read there from Adam. Ethos out with the zone. Unfortunate throwaway there.
Chungy on the mark. Utteridge with another shot to the end zone. This one not quite finding its target. Heroic effort there from Bruce, but unable to keep it up.
Strong line on here from HMC.
Arave to Barnes. Barnes to Sider. Sider there throwing on the inside of Hislop. Utteridge doing great work to make sure that roll didn't carry on down the field.
Hinting he wants a big shot. Looks it off.
Give it to Fogarty. Great shot by Fogarty to Cartier, who pops it in the corner. Henry Legral to score the point. Big celebrations, and Ethos continue with their energy and extend that lead. Huge hugs there by Josh as Anne-Marie gets it. It's two young guns scoring points on the big stage. Promising signs for Canterbury Ultimate. In fact, if you look through the rosters of both teams, there are a lot of young players out there. The HMC ABC are actually a almost wholly under 21 roster. And Ethos here, many players are in the juniors, almost under 18 bracket. So great to see all the new players up and coming through, and if you can survive a weekend playing Frisbee in this conditions, it's going to do some amazing things for your throwing.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, that those young players, it's great to see, and in this type of match too, a third-fourth playoff, huge match for them.
And then with the likes of Fernando leading the charge, could it be his experience proving the difference? Nice rip by Fernando there. Almost making halfway, which again probably our indicator for the gust. So there's still a strong wind out there. Chungy to get the disc. Looks for a reset. Finds Lawmance.
Great mark from Ano there. Strong.
HMC resetting this, but losing a lot of ground. They wouldn't want to be turning the disc up this way. Adam Chung, he is okay at Frisbee. Picks it up with adrenaline and overshoots.
Great catch, not so great throw, but great play there from Adam. Great layout. Keep that disc alive.
It's good to see Michelle Lee actually identifying, I think, that the handlers and the movement of the disc was going backwards and needed to get the disc moving forward. A turnover, any extra 10, 20 meters you can add for that upwind offense is going to save you a lot.
Absolutely. Great option there from Michelle.
But I guess one thing HMC has to be worried about here is they can't often give the disc back to this Ethos side. That's proven time and again now that they can score in this upwind. Great inside-out shot there by Fernando to Powick. He's looking for a return to Fernando, but Luama's marked him out well there. Good handler defense by HMC to cause that turn. In a time like this, they want to make sure of it. Changi with the disc. Changi to Mance. Mance finds Taylor in the end zone.
Good,
Is
strong
that a goal?
classical finish there from HMC.
No call. Ainilu really close there. As you can see, almost getting a hand in there to spoil it. But Grace Taylor attacked it as well. Another good point from her. HMC Upwind running out of time here. 90 minutes, I believe, is the soft cap.
I think so. Hopefully they've managed to fuel the boiler at half time.
It's almost getting to now or never stages.
It is.
The comeback
absolutely.
train has to leave the station soon.
Yeah, there has to be some heat in that furnace, in that comeback train. It's still possible, but it really has to happen now.
And a bold move. Luke Rava seems to be coming off the field for this Upwind. So this will probably be the first point HMC have gone upwind without Luke. But they have brought on Michelle Lee, another strong thrower, so we'll see how that plays. Scott Sider lining up for the pool here. He's out of the Wellington Juniors. I believe he played high school in potentially Hutt Valley High. I may be wrong. YouTube might be able to correct me on that one. That is a nice pull from Scott Sider.
Utteridge to pick up.
And look for Jesse Chase in the end zone. There's that forehand flick. And he's found his man again, Utteridge.
That time. Super consistent, those throws there. Those big, loopy forehand passes. Not a typical throw you'd seen, but just understanding the wind here and just absolutely just dropping that throw down right into that corner. Great shot.
It's very difficult to defend. The defense knows it's happening, but it's quite hard to work out exactly where that's going. What I liked in that replay there is I think you saw Max Utteridge's head nod, telling Jesse Chase, I want you in that corner. That's where I'll throw it.
Did give away that wee head nod.
You get there, the disc will be there. Can someone be so veteran with his handling? It seems so. 10-5 HMC. The score is becoming insurmountable.
It is. That's a big lead there from Ethos.
I guess the one thing we have to hold on to is Ultimate Frisbee. You need to score the winning point. So there is always a chance. There's always a sniff, and that could be a crucial factor. Ethos can't just win on time. They need to score that winning point. I'd say they'd be pretty confident, though, if Max Utteridge is picking up the disc.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, I like the fact that he gives his downfield an indication as to what he wants to throw. Like, these are tough conditions today. You know, it's good to have that sort of connection there to understand, to give that downfielder a bit of understanding of what's going to happen. It would appear that Ethos's main strategy is really get that position anyway. But they're making something of it. And that's great to see from such a young player such as Utteridge.
Exactly, and we have Mance moves it to Changi. I think to note about the Ethos team and the ABCs, both of them are first-year teams, so communication isn't inherent. They haven't been playing together for 3 or 4 years. This is their first time, so verbal communication or visual, such as head nods, very helpful to make sure the understanding is there between players. Lovely dishing from far after a messy handler cut. Auden shoots for the end zone. The disc beats both players out of the field. Zach Medic, known for his huge hops in the HMC ABC, still can't quite climb that many feet into the air. I'm sure a bit more gym work and downhill mountain biking will get him there.
Absolutely. HMC going with match defense there. A little bit of a change up for them.
Nice defense by Tithridge there, and then showing a lot of speed to get to that corner, showing she's still hungry, she's still in this game. Luan Mance holding the disc there, looking for Warden. Good pressure from Ethos on the handlers, but HMC are moving it all right. Shot by Mance. The handlers are moving, but it's not quite connecting. Luan Mance with a stylish knee slide to score.
Yeah, great throw then for Tom Warden. Fantastic.
The downward team have done their job. Really is now or never for this upward. Great bid by Josh Cooper there, adding to that highlight reel. Luan Mance, not often finding himself in the end zone as one of the solid handlers for this downwind line or defensive line for HMC.
So this is what it's like to die as a lizard cobra. How's it going?
You see Luke Rubber back on the upwind line for this one. And Michelle Lee, Luke Rubber, Anna Cairns, Leilani Smith, Scott Sider, Harrison Leach, and Andy Hislop by the looks of things. The coaches have put their trust in these 7 players to score this upwind. They have got it done in previous games. They'll need to get it done now.
Good to see Luke coming back onto the field here. I think that was he's a must, I feel, going into this wind.
He's like your Fernando for Ethos. He's the one that has the rips, has enough throw and to stretch that defense, make them worried about the deep shot.
Probably better than I play it, yeah. It's a function of that and being able to talk for 2 days straight.
Utteridge with the disc. Hopefully Hislop adjusts with a high left hand to stop that forehand coming out. Georgia Fogarty with a nice shot to the end zone. Connor almost on the end of that.
Opportunity here for HMC.
Because it went out of the field, they get an extra 20 metres. Or 15 metres are up. But they are trapped on the sideline to see if they can work it off the field. Nice cut by Scott Snyder. Was that a huge layout there by Max Utteridge there to stop the throw mid-flight. There we go. Andy Hislop getting a big hand on that one, but the disc still flies through. Scott Snyder making sure of it. Sider moves it to Leach. Leach finds Sider again. Nice movement there.
Utteridge doing a good job to stop that play.
Sider not quite showing he has that forehand flick into the wind. Perhaps best to get it on his backhand side. Hislop making that throw from Utteridge very difficult. And as the hooter goes for cap, Bruce just misses that shot.
Now more than ever, really important for HMC to score this point upwind. They want to be chasing, as I understand it, if they do score this point, it would be game to 11.
A game to 11, you're right. If they don't score this point, it's a game to 12. They need to score 6. So this can really the stops, how many upwards they need. Scott Sider using the wind well there to put that in front of Luke. Luke to Leach.
Match defense here from Ethos.
This goes over the top of Leilani. This is it, a chance for Ethos to get oh so close to taking that title of third place team in the Div 2 New Zealand Mixed Nationals. Great cover there by Leach.
Looking to take it early.
A little bit of, maybe a bit rushed there. The pass going over, slipping Michelle Lee. The sun has come out now, but the ground will still be a little bit wet underfoot. Utteridge puts it out there, and great grab by Nikki Alley. She's known for her safe hands and proves it there with a crucial score for Ethos. The disc was almost past her there. Very good grab.
Yeah, yeah.
And a great lead pass by Utteridge again.
Clear situation here for HMC. They have to score.
Every point.
Every point from now on. They really need to put on strong lines. You can get the team done. Job done. For Ethos, though, it kind of gets a little bit interesting here because they're in a strong position. And so far, Ethos have been playing their strong line into the wind. But I'd argue they don't need to do that anymore because they've got such a favourable position. What they maybe should do is just wait for that next downwind point and put on their strong line then to secure that game, score that downwind point, get 12 points, win the game.
Save that energy, if you will, on the higher level players. If they're, I think right now this is a move showing they're not worried about things. You could say complacency, but I'd say a healthy 5 lead when HMC has not scored into the wind. But I'd say yes, if it was any closer, that would almost be a tactic to use. However, with Utteridge marshalling the downwind,
Utteridge has been doing a fantastic job on those downwind points.
well, Nando's pull going out of the field, so making it halfway, but not in the field, so HMC's offense will have a short field to attack.
On you two, just a shot.
A little bit of confusion here, exactly where it went out.
Nice throw there from far. Great shot there by Taylor, using the wind to set it up. And Warden looking for the end zone. He's got Luam in there. Great read and grab by Luam.
Great rip there
Very.
from Luam.
Josh Cooper put a lot of pressure on him there, and we know Josh has been quite dominant in the air this game, so very well done. 1, to hold the defender out, and 2, to go up and grab that. Huge grab. He's had a strong game, Luam.
No, one, go back to that Preston team, please. And that's it, 1. Stay there, and on you, 1. Camera 2, can you pick up the other team, please? Yeah, white one. Thank you. Thank you. On you.
So here we have it.
Just push it slowly.
Ethos first downwind chance to score and win this game. HMC, their universe point, or their game point defensive line, every point is universe for them from now on. Do they have it in them?
And as it's happened earlier in this match, suddenly the wind starts gusting up again.
It does. Is Luke Robo holding this? No, Scott Sider's holding this there, so we've worked out it's not Luke causing this wind.
Slightly stronger line here from Ethos. Just made a few changes there. feeling the pressure perhaps, understanding how important this point will be to score it, to win the game.
Scott Sider, Anna Cairns, Martine Barnes, Becky Farr. Andy Hislop, Leilani Smith, Luke Rabe on the final universe line, or the final line for HMC. If they not manage to score this upwind, Ethos have it. HMC got the turn. Now it's what they'll do with it. Sided to pick up. It was just tipped, but Becky Farr had her wits about her to follow that. And that throw, unfortunately, has been caught by the wind.
Absolutely unfortunate there, but that's those gusty conditions that we spoke of. Really, just getting under that disc, lifting it up.
It's asking for low releases. You need to throw it under their wind, otherwise the wind will get it done. Max Utteridge in a forehand grip, striking fear into HMC there. Huge grab by Poak, but we might need to see a replay.
Goal there by Ethos, by the looks of it. I think everyone said so. They're getting around him.
Ethos are getting around him. Here's the replay.
Just gets that foot just inside that line.
Great grab, way to finish it. Ethos finishing on a high, and the hugs all around for a fantastic tournament by the young team.
Yeah, Ethos, fantastic game for them. You know, they stuck with it. They trusted their players, and they took their shots when they presented themselves, just enough to score those two valuable upwind points. That's all that came down to. Simply those 2 points.
Phenomenal play. Again, Utteridge, Cooper, Fernando, some solid work behind the disc and receiving there. And a shout out to those defensive teams. So there's the full-time score. We have Ethos 12, HMC ABC 7 in the third, fourth playoff at the New Zealand Mixed Ultimate Champs, Div 2 2020, Day 2. We'll be gone, but be back with us shortly as the final kicks off, 2:30.